Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, Urban Legends from Delaware. Again, if I say anything or pronounce anything wrong, I'm sorry. English is actually one of the hardest languages to learn because there's so many rules. And it also depends on where you come from. So I hope you enjoyed the video. The first urban legend from Delaware is Corpse Light. Cape Henlopen State Park is said to be the origin of the Corpse Light, a mysterious phantom light with no discernible source. There is no lighthouse at Cape Henlopen, yet people often see lights flashing from the location. The light was allegedly a curse from a local Native American tribe. After British soldiers stormed a wedding ceremony and massacred many guests, the tribe conjured up the light as a means to lure ships to doom. The corpse light actually has fulfilled its promise historically. It sunk a ship known as the Devonshireman on Christmas Day, 1665. The ship, following the beams from the non-existent lighthouse, crashed into a shaft of stone instead. More than 200 men died in the wreck. Some say the ghost ship periodically reappears to reenact the famous crash. The next urban legend is the ghosts of Fort Delaware. During the Civil War, Fort Delaware, found on the Delaware's River's Pea Patch Island, was originally a prison for Civil War soldiers. Notorious for its atrocious conditions, prisoners were housed in wooden barracks and given only small food rations, as well as dirty water. Sometimes rats were even thrown into the crowd, which starving prisoners devoured in desperation. About 2,700 men died in the prison, and, unsurprisingly, their spirits are rumored to remain on Fort Delaware's grounds. The fort offers tours for those interested in its rich history, and guests often report paranormal experiences. People have felt an eerie presence and also heard ghosts of prisoners poking around, making noise throughout the fort's walls. The next urban legend is the Addie C Inn. The Addie C Inn, found on Bethany Beach, is a quaint bed and breakfast first built in 1902. Like many buildings with a long history, the Addie C Inn is rumored to be haunted. If you're interested in experiencing paranormal activity while staying at the inn, there are 3 specific rooms that allegedly house spirits. Room 1 contains a private bath that was originally used by John Addie, the house's original owner and builder. The tub allegedly sometimes starts shaking when guests use it. Room 6 reportedly gives off the sound of organ music, despite no organs being present. Room 11 is probably the most haunted room of the hotel. It is rumored to be haunted by Addie's handyman, Paul Delaney. Delaney's ghost is sometimes seen on or near the bed. And if you don't know what an organ is, it's a type of piano. The next urban legend is the dark history of Loons Pond. Loons Pond State Park is home to a gorgeous lake and is a popular destination for guests to go canoeing or kayaking. Like many Delaware locations, the park has long been rumored to be haunted, as local lore claims a tragedy occurred on its grounds. According to the story, a young girl ran away from her Newcastle home sometime in the 1870s. She ended up hiding out in the woods near the Loons Pond State Park, but ended up coming face to face with a dangerous man, also camping in the woods. The man captured her, assaulted her, and murdered her. While authorities found the girl's body quickly, they never apprehended the killer. The girl allegedly died near a bridge on the park's trails, and guests report they see the girl's ghost and sometimes hear her screaming when crossing the bridge. Sometimes the temperature also drops dramatically on the bridge. The next urban legend is the haunting of Dead President's Pub. The Dead President's Pub in Wilmington, Delaware, first opened its doors in the 1990s, but had a long and rich history before that. The two-story building had been a private residency and also housed various businesses and bars. The name chosen in the 90s was apparently asking for trouble. However, because guests had reported paranormal activity ever since the Dead President's Pub made its debut. The pub sells presidential memorabilia and souvenirs, and sports craft beers named after famous presidents. Guests brave enough to enter report glasses clinking on their own, random drops in temperature, the sound of spooky laughter, and the vague feeling of a dark presence. In addition to all this, the pub allegedly houses a specific ghost known as Lemonade Mullery. According to legend, Mullery was a local character who used to frequent the pub and died after slipping on urine on the bathroom floor and breaking his neck. The next urban legend is of Catman of Long Cemetery. As if cemeteries aren't already spooky enough on their own, Long Cemetery in Frankfort, Delaware claims to be home to a ghost. However, this specter is even more terrifying than act, as it's been described as a bizarre feline-human hybrid known as Catman. Catman is said to be the former caretaker of the cemetery, who had remarkably cat-like features. He still does his job by chasing out vandals, teens, and other troublemakers. Rumor has it that if you knock 3 times on the cemetery's brick wall late at night, Catman will appear and attack. The last urban legend takes place at the governor's mansion. The governor's mansion, also called Woodburn, was built in the 1790s by Charles Hilary III and was the official home of Delaware's governors for decades. It still stands in Dover, Delaware, and is open to tours. Ghost stories regarding the mansion go back hundreds of years, and guests still report seeing paranormal phenomenon today. The first ghost story occurred 25 years after the house was constructed, after Charles Hilary III had passed away. According to the story, the house's then owners invited a Methodist preacher to stay with them. While conducting prayer before breakfast one morning, the preacher said they should wait for the other guests staying in the guest house to join them. The couple said no one else was visiting, and the preacher then described his temporary roommate in great detail. His description matched what Hilliard looked like in life perfectly. Apparently, Hilliard and other spirits still linger in the mansion. If you ever leave Mr. Hilliard, the original owner, a glass of wine on the stairs, legend has it that you'll find it drained in the morning. Mr. Hilliard is not the only guest at the mansion. Years ago, a slave running away from slave hunters was caught and killed near the mansion's porch. Guests sometimes still hear his screams. There have also been reports of a young girl dressed in a gingham dress and a bonnet roaming the grounds carrying a candle. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you know when I post, and leave in the comments which one scared you the most or which one is your favorite. Bye-bye.